The product owner is the last of the three roles that constitute every Scrum team, alongside the Scrum Master and development team. The product owner is essentially responsible for what will be developed and in what order. On one hand, the product owner must understand the needs and priorities of the organizational stakeholders, the customers, and the users well enough to act as their voice. In this respect, the product owner acts as a product manager, ensuring that the right solution is developed. On the other hand, the product owner must communicate to the development team what to build and the order in which to build it. The product owner must also ensure that the criteria for accepting features are specified and that the tests that verify those criteria are later run to determine whether the features are complete. The product owner doesn't write detail-level tests, but ensures that the high-level ones are written so that the team can determine when the product owner will consider the feature complete. In these respects, the product owner is part business analyst and part tester. During weeks 1 and 2, the product owner is engaged in both portfolio planning and product planning. As part of portfolio planning, the product owner might work with the portfolio manager or the governance board to discuss portfolio expectations that can influence the new product planning. At the completion of product planning, the proposed product will be submitted to portfolio planning, where it is subjected to the organization's economic filter to determine if development will be funded and when work can begin. In week 3, the product owner is engaged in initial release planning. This typically involves a product backlog item writing workshop to generate a high-level product backlog that can be used during release planning. Following, the product owner participates in an estimating workshop to estimate the size of high-value product backlog items. Next, the product owner facilitates an initial release planning session to prioritize the product backlog and balance the constraints of scope, schedule, and budget. Following release planning, the Scrum team performs the first sprint. At the start of the sprint, the product owner oversees the sprint planning activity. During sprint execution, the product owner tries to attend the team's daily scrums. This may not always be possible, but it is a good practice. During the daily scrum, the product owner listens to better understand how the current sprint is progressing and to identify opportunities to assist the development team. The product owner must also be available, typically every day, to answer questions and to test features as they become reviewable. During sprint execution, the product owner meets with both the internal and external stakeholders to ensure that priorities for the upcoming sprint are correct and to secure valuable user input that will affect the features chosen for future sprints. The product owner also performs frequent product backlog grooming, which includes writing new product backlog items and refining existing ones, then working with the team to get them estimated and the stakeholders and team to get them prioritized. At the end of the sprint, the product owner participates in 2 end-of-sprint inspect and adapt activities, the sprint review and the sprint retrospective. After these are completed, the sprint cycle repeats and the product owner participates in the next sprint planning activity.